So, YouTube may delete this video because, from what I've seen, similarly on other channels, it may go against their guidelines about YouTube being a safe space for people to interact and share their opinions on whatever. But it's a risk I'll take, and I'll give it a shot, and let's see what happens. So recently, there is a YouTube that I do follow. I've subscribed to their channel, and I do watch their content a lot. Now his name is Aboud, Aboud. You should check out his channel. It's really interesting. He does, a lot of the videos that he's uploaded is to give advice and to basically benefit people to bettering themselves. So there was a video he released, which was not released, but uploaded recently. That video was taken down. In the video, he talked about basically the COVID-19 vaccine, which worldwide scientists and the governments are working non-stop to try and find a cure for this COVID-19 virus. The virus, which I'm yet to be convinced is even, a real threat, is even really in existence. So in that video, he mentioned about whether you as an individual, whether you'll be taking the vaccine, will you let your children take the vaccine, will you be letting your other family members take that vaccine? Because with everything that's been happening, and I can speak for myself here in the UK, the way the lockdown has been handled, the way government officials have been behaving, the whole thing just seems ridiculous and it seems like a joke. We're supposed to be in a lockdown, but the airports are still open, and I've heard that it's an average number of 15,000 people have been coming and going as they please at free will. And recently, we have been having government ministers and members of parliament just breaking those lockdown restrictions and rules, and just going about their daily business, driving from one part of the country to another, you know, like there's no big deal, and they don't face any consequence for it. They just fob people off with a really lousy excuse. So when all these things do happen, it does raise your suspicion as to whether we are really facing a genuine threat. Now, I've mentioned before in the past, I'm not yet, or should I say, I'm yet to be convinced that this COVID-19 virus is actually something we should be concerned as a genuine threat. I'm a courier. I work as a part-time courier. So recently, I have been working with much more medically based logistic goods. I can give you an example. The other day, I had to deliver some samples from a care home to the Department of Health's lab over in Colindale in northwest London. I've had to deliver some samples from the same lab again back to another lab within central London, and sometimes from that lab to a hospital in central London or elsewhere. So I've been, as well as doing those sorts of jobs, I've also been just doing the ordinary logistics work, delivering parcels from an office to someone's home and just from A to B, wherever. Whilst I'm doing that, of course, I'm coming into contact with people. I don't know where they've been. I don't know what sort of people they've been coming into contact with. And I'm not sure the sort of environment that they've been in and before they've come into contact with me. But the point I'm making is, whilst that has been happening, whilst I've been going about my job and having to, kind of socialize and interact with different people who are strangers to me, I've never fallen ill. I've never shown any symptoms of a high temperature, high fever, compromised breathing, sneezing, coughing, except for just ordinary hay fever. And now the new addition is a loss of taste and smell. I've never had any of those symptoms whatsoever. So again, whilst I'm working, I don't wear a mask. I'll be honest, at first I was wearing a mask even whilst I was driving my car, but at some point I thought it was actually ridiculous because it's just me in this car 90% of the time. So there's no point, if there's any disease I'm carrying in, there's just disease I'm bringing into the car, and that's disease coming from me, so I won't be affected that badly. So at some point I just took the mask off, and since then I've just stopped wearing a mask altogether. Even wearing gloves when I'm handling the biohazardous goods coming from a hospital or from a medical lab. Initially, the first, second, and third time I wore gloves, but on other occasions, I'll just. You might say I should have worn gloves and some sort of protection, but I'm the sort of person, if there's something I have to do, I'll even kind of overlook my own safety sometimes. You may say it's stupid, and I don't think I could argue with you, but I'm more concerned about getting the job done. If it's something really that's actually quite simple and straightforward, I hate wasting time because it's time I could be using to do something else that I either need to do, want something which I want to do, need to, or just, you know, I just don't like to overcomplicate something that should be so simple. Um, so yeah, I mean, all that being said, I've never ever felt sick or ill, never at all, which is why, you know, I'm yet to be convinced that this thing is actually a genuine threat. And you know, I don't know if there's anyone out there that would agree with me. You know, if you think I'm wrong, if you've experienced something, if you actually are convinced that this is a real threat, if you know people have fallen ill with this COVID-19 virus, please, you know, leave some feedback in the comment section below. I'll be happy to debate with you on just, you know, read your feedback. You may change my mind. But no, you know, I've just not experienced anything like that at all, and I am a key worker. I'm, you know, not on the same level as say nurses or doctors, people that work in a medical setting, but I do a job that provides a service that people can't do without. They still need things to be delivered, especially if they can't get out of their own home or get to wherever it is they could buy it from. And another point I'd like to make in this video is that Aboud's video was taken down, and I think the excuse or the reason that YouTube gave him in the feedback when he actually appealed the decision, but he lost, and that video was indeed taken down, is that basically we want to make sure that YouTube is a platform for almost like a safe space for people to share their opinions without being offended and so on, blah blah blah, this and that. Basically, so it's like this is the reason we have, and you can take or leave it. And yeah, your video's taken down. It's our platform. We can do what we please, do what we like. But again, it does arouse my suspicions as to what's really going on with this virus. You know, I looked on YouTube, I looked on Google, for word, I punched into the search engine box, COVID-19 vaccine, will you be taking it? I've even rearranged the wording in that question, that sentence. And again, I'm still getting the same feedback in the searches on YouTube and on Google, which YouTube and Google really are the same company, the same server. I can't see anything on the YouTube platform or on Google which comes back even with a forum or with a what do you call it, a web chat or a chat forum, saying basically with people sharing their opinions and having a debate, sometimes having an argument. But I've never seen anything like that. I just see articles and tidbits and clips of how the vaccine potentially could be developed, things like that. But nothing on people's opinions on whether they were taking the vaccine or not. I can't see that at all. So, and people, I'm sure, with everything that's been going on, will be skeptical as to whether this, again, they'll be skeptical as to whether this virus is a genuine threat, whether it's something to be worried about, whether it even exists, and so therefore they'll be skeptical as to whether they'll be taking their vaccine. So yeah, I think I'll wrap up the video here, guys. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and please subscribe. And you can also follow me on Instagram at IkeOjako1 and on Twitter, which is just IkeOjako. Thanks.